Good day to everybody. Meteorologist Mark here at MeteoMark. We're taking a look at an update on Tropical Storm Henri, and we don't have the regular equipment here. We're displaced at the moment, so we're going to get through this the best we can. So let's get right into things here. We're going to have an update on the rest of North America as well. A heat wave developing back in the eastern, especially the eastern part of North America. Very tropical pattern, flooding threat from Henri. I'll go over which areas I think could see some flash flooding, and of course, the rest of the tropics. Let's get into it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell button so you're alerted when I come out with one of these updates. And as always, don't forget to leave a comment question down below if you have one. Smash the like button. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Let's get right into it. Also, timestamps are down below if you want to skip ahead. Here it is, the update on Tropical Storm Henri. Take a look at this. Has made landfall in Rhode Island, on its way through Connecticut, and eventually Monday morning, eastern New York, the Hudson Valley, before rounding the bend, getting caught up the rest of this upper low at 500 millibars, and then being kicked out with it and being absorbed to the northeast once that high retreats and weakens to the northeast here. We'll continue to see moisture stream into Long Island, New Jersey, parts of eastern Pennsylvania, Hudson Valley, Catskills, and the Poconos on eastward. So watch out for flash flooding. The rest of the tropics here, after Henri moves out of the picture by Wednesday, we were watching a tropical disturbance west of the Cape Verde Islands here. It does have the potential to develop by Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of this week, a 20% chance once it gets into that yellow shaded zone there between the two high pressure systems as it finds a weakness in the subtropical ridge, depending on how strong this system is. So we have to watch this system. This could become our next named storm. The good news is it is no threat to land. Across the rest of the tropics, things are looking quiet across the rest of the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico, clear as a bell down here. Nothing much to talk about. An easterly flow continuing. We have showers and thunderstorms in the Western Caribbean here, but nothing of interest. And take a look at the tropical Atlantic satellite here. We have that feature in the Western Caribbean. I don't expect development out of that. Off the southeast coast of the U.S. there, you can see some explosion of thunderstorm activity with that trough. It's going to spin some moisture into South Carolina, Georgia, parts of northeast Florida, but for the most part, I don't see this developing. And then off the Cape Verde Islands out here, the intertropical convergence zone, you see that big feature on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That is the feature we're going to be watching that could become our next named storm in the central Atlantic. Taking a look at the GFS track, it's a very basic track here. Very good idea. Making landfall in Connecticut, parts of western Rhode Island, moving inland across the Hudson Valley, bringing some heavy rain, parts of downstate New York, all the way through the Hudson Valley, Poconos, Catskills, northern New Jersey here, and then makes an exit towards Tuesday across New England. CMC model is similar to the GFS here. It's just a tad a little further east initially into Rhode Island, and then bringing it into eastern upstate New York, bringing heavier rains a little bit further westward into northeast Pennsylvania, parts of the Catskills and mid-Susquehanna Valley here, and into the Hudson Valley as well, and then making an exit towards Tuesday as well. And the NAM model, our mesoscale model, high resolution, 3 kilometer, look at this, the low, brings it inland across eastern upstate New York, brings all those heavier bands into the Catskills, Poconos, Hudson Valley, northern New Jersey. So we're going to continue with the flash flooding threat here and making an exit also towards Tuesday. GFS with the rainfall here across the northeast, you can see into those purple shading here, especially across western Connecticut, Long Island, northern New Jersey, parts of the Hudson Valley, extreme northeastern Pennsylvania here. Those purples, we're getting into the 2.5, 3.5, upwards of 4.5, close to 5.5 inches into the darker purples there. Don't focus on one point because this is just a general idea. This is not meant to be taken as gospel. This is guidance, so to speak. So yeah, we're going to have the flash flooding threat. It's definitely there through Sunday night into Monday morning here. And here we go for the CMC model. The bullseye is across northeast Pennsylvania, parts of the Catskills, Poconos, and then also a secondary one across eastern Connecticut, western Massachusetts. This is a similar idea. We will have areas of flash flooding, so that will be a threat. And here we go for the high-resolution rapid refresh model. Look at this. You take these mesoscale models with a grain of salt because you don't, as I said, you don't want to take each individual point as gospel, but the idea is there. It's interesting that this is a little bit further to the west, producing some big rainfall totals, anywhere from 2.5 to 4.5 inches across parts of the Catskills, Poconos here, and then even into Massachusetts. and Connecticut as well. So we'll keep an eye on this here, but the main threat should be mostly flash flooding at this point. Taking a look at the tropics here, we have that tropical system disturbance just west of the Cape Verde Islands out here off the coast of Africa. That's going to be moving into the northwest here, finding its weakness in the subtropical ridge systems here. And once it reaches the central Atlantic, just east of Bermuda, the wind shear slackens, and we have more favorable conditions for development. So we'll have to watch for a 20 to 30% chance of development here through the end of the week. And Derek Rentschler from Lebanon County, Pennsylvania on August 18th. Look at this, a nice time lapse of the storm clouds moving across his area. You can see how low those clouds were, as most of them were moving from south to north over the area. There was a tornado threat as well as a flash flooding threat. So nice captures there, Derek. Taking a look at the upper air pattern here across North America, the heat will be building once again back east. Relief of a trough in the Pacific Northwest, that's good news. Help with the wildfire situation and the dryness. And guess what? Back east here, we'll be watching a very hot pattern developing, especially from the southeast all the way into eastern northeast here. And we'll be watching the tropics out in the Atlantic. Sunday afternoon and evening across the northeast, we have Henri moving across to Connecticut, and then eventually the tonight into eastern New York near the Hudson Valley. We'll continue to have that heavy rain moving westward, the lower Hudson Valley, Catskills, Poconos, northern New Jersey, New York City, and Long Island continuing flooding, flash flooding for the most part will continue. It will feel very muggy as that humidity and dew points will be way up there. Outward, away from the circulation, you can see it gets pretty warm back towards Pittsburgh and DC here. We have that upper trough, that low pressure just southwest of Atlantic City. That is the key to locking in all this moisture further westward with Henri and entrapping the storm underneath that 500 millibar low. Taking a look at the southeast, one of my favorite spots across North America. Look at that. The people are great down south as well. So if you ever get a chance to visit down south or make it your home, it's wonderful. Take a look at the south here. We have the trough of low pressure kicking in across northern Georgia and parts of North Carolina. Upper level low at 500 millibars, kicking off showers and thunderstorms around Charleston area, upwards of a half to 3/4 of an inch locally, higher in some of those gully washers. And we have the cold front slicing just west of Nashville, not really kicking off any fanfare here, but along the Gulf Coast we could see some stray showers and thunderstorms from Miami, Tampa, Panama City. Look at that towards Houston and New Orleans getting 99 and 96, just downright hot. And Sunday night across the northeast here, we continue to have Henri moving westward inland here, probably along the Connecticut, Massachusetts border into eastern New York. Heavy rain continuing into the darker greeting shading here. So we'll continue to have rainfall rates anywhere in those heavier bands, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch an hour at times. So heavy rain continuing here, even in New York City, northern New Jersey, Poconos, Catskills continuing here. So watch out for flash flooding. This will continue to be a concern across the northeast. Outside that zone, not too bad. Places like Pittsburgh, Erie, and Toronto. And you see that low pressure there just south of Atlantic City, continuing to pull that moisture with Henri westward. Sunday night across the southeast, look at that. The troughs kind of kick to the east here over the Carolinas. We have that showers and thunderstorms consolidating over northeast Florida from Jacksonville up to Charleston, Norfolk, and Raleigh. We still have some residual showers and thunderstorms, maybe a stray shower across parts of Miami, Tampa, and Panama City. But look at those overnight lows, very muggy, low 80s across the Gulf Coast here, and even some mids to upper 70s here across parts of inland southeast. And Monday across the northeast. Henri, tropical depression at this point, heading into central New England, right around New Hampshire. Rain continuing, not as heavy though. The system is going to start to begin to fill in as it gets absorbed into this low pressure, upper level low pressure. As it moves off to the northeast, we start to dry things out, especially from I-81 corridor on westward here later in the day. We're getting hotter too. Start of the warming trend, 90 in Harrisburg, 92 in DC. Still have some rain left over, especially in the morning, New York City, 85 there. Monday across the southeast here, we have that cold front slicing to the north, little to no fanfare. That low pressure, that trough kicking off the coast here. Still some residual showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, evening hours from Panama City, Tampa, Miami, Charleston, And look at that. The heat will be the big story here. 99 from Houston, 97 in New Orleans again, 95 in Birmingham. We're really warming it up here across the southeast, and it will feel very humid. And Tuesday across the northeast, look at this. High pressure starts to really build in. We get some clearing. And look at that. The temperatures are allowed to soar here. 90s. Low to mid 90s, a popular number here. DC 95, 93 in Harrisburg, 91 in Pittsburgh. And look at that, up at the upper Susquehanna Valley. Getting into the upper 80s as well, 91 in Boston and New York. Look at that. We're even in the upper 80s near Concord. Sun will be breaking out. And Tuesday across the southeast, it's a lazy, hazy day across the area. Look at that. Low pressure kicking across the Gulf Coast, skipping along here. Wow, it's your little to no relief will be a scattered shower or thunderstorm, particularly between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. across the southeast. But for the most part, the big story will be the heat. 100 degrees in Houston. That's with that heat and humidity. That's quite interesting there. 97 in New Orleans, 93 in Miami. Look at that. 97 in Birmingham. So we're hot as a firecracker inland as well. Extended outlook from hometown viewers. Make them to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York, northeast Pennsylvania. All points along the upper Susquehanna River. Take a look at this. Sunday, we get the outer effects of Henri moving in up to a quarter inch. Showers and thunderstorms later in the afternoon and early evening hours. Sunday night, showers and thunderstorms continuing. Potential's there for a half to 3/4 of an inch, but nothing really major around the Binghamton area. Scranton, you may have to worry about some flash flooding on the smaller streams and creeks, so watch out for that. You probably in Scranton see more like a 1.5 to as much as 2.5 inches of rain. Monday, we start to clear things out, hopefully dry that conveyor belt as it moves to the east. The low pressure kicks Henri out to the northeast, and we'll be able to warm into the lower 80s by Tuesday and Wednesday. Look at that. We're approaching near 90 as a heat wave develops. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. As always, don't forget to smash the like button, question or comment in the comment section down below. Gets the video more exposure. So we want to get to 5,000 subscribers here. Let's grow the channel, everyone. And don't forget on Facebook, give me some love, some Meteor Mark or Weather Northeastern or Hurricane Northeastern. I will be updating those names shortly. And guess what? We will go to a more interesting format here. Thanks for joining me.